Hello, Majid English 8 here. Thank you for watching my videos. I hope they are helping you improve in your advanced English grammar, and at the same time you enjoy watching these videos. If you do enjoy, please share them with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed, please kindly do so. So far we have covered 28 videos of this book, Communicate What You Mean, a very good book for developing your advanced English grammar. And today we are heading for video 29, talking about relative pronouns as object of preposition. If you remember, our previous video was about relative pronouns as objects, and before that it was relative pronouns as subject. If you need information about them, please go and watch the previous videos, as they could be prerequisite to this video. But before we start the unit, let's just take a look at the Word file here. It is pages 144 to 146 of Communicate What You Mean. As I told you, relative pronouns as object of preposition. And for better understanding of this video, you'd better watch video 1, which is a general understanding of basics of advanced English grammar, like phrase, clause, dependent, independent, and so on. Video 25 about adjective clauses, 28 about relative pronouns as objects. And after that, you will better understand this video. So here I have some examples for you, but before that, I will tell you what generally this unit is about. Relative pronouns, if you remember, they are markers of the adjective clauses, like that, which, who, whom, and the others. Here, we want to put them in the position of object of preposition. How? Take a look at these examples. They are the examples like for whom, with whom, for which, to whom, in which, at which, any other preposition and relative pronoun in the examples that you will see here. For example, look at these two sentences. The man had just arrived in the United States. We spoke to him, with him, or for him. So you see that the verb speak has a preposition like to. Speak to someone, speak with someone, or speak for someone. Okay, so in this unit, our verbs come with a preposition. Then this preposition can precede the relative pronoun, as you see here. The man to whom we spoke had just arrived in the United States. Or the man with whom we spoke had just arrived. Or the man for whom, of course with different meanings. So what did we do? Our relative pronoun as object was whom here. The man whom we spoke to. Or the man to whom we spoke. The man whom we spoke with. The man with whom we spoke. Or the man whom we spoke for. The man for whom we spoke had just arrived in the United States. This is just a beginning of the unit, and I will explain that in details in the Word file. So the relative pronouns whom and which can be preceded with a preposition. If you bring the preposition before the relative pronoun, for people only whom, and for objects only which. So I repeat myself. If you bring the preposition before the relative pronoun, for people only whom, for objects only which. That can be used, but the relative pronoun is not preceded with a preposition, as you see here. The composer to whom I'm listening is Brahms. So it is the composer whom I'm listening to is Brahms, and then preceded. The country in which Brahms was born, or the country which Brahms was born in, is Germany. So be born in, or listen to. As you see, these verbs come with a preposition. Prepositions may also be separated from the relative pronoun. How? The composer whom I'm listening to, or even the composer who I'm listening to. is Brahms. The country which he was born in, or the country that he was born in, is Germany. Ms. Parks is the music teacher whom I studied with for many years, or who I studied with for many years, or even that. Ms. Parks is the music teacher that I studied with for many years. Okay, so if the preposition is separate from the relative pronoun, all the other relative pronouns like who and that are also possible along with whom and which. But if the preposition comes before, only whom for people, only which for objects. And here, the concert that I told you about, correct, but the concert about that, incorrect. About which I told you last night. We talked about it. So if the adjective clause is too long, please do not separate the preposition from the relative pronoun. Ms. Parks is the music teacher with whom I studied in Denver 2 years ago. So you see the adjective clause is a little long. If you bring the with at the end of the clause, it's not beautiful. Ms. Parks is the music teacher whom I studied in Denver 2 years ago with. That's not beautiful. Okay? And if you remember, relative pronouns as objects could be omitted. Previous video. This is the book that I am interested in, or this is the book I'm interested in. Relative pronoun as object can be omitted. Okay, we had it in the previous video. And here is a copy of the first test which I told you about, or a copy of the first test I told you about. And of course, you know that if the preposition comes before the relative pronoun, of course, the relative pronoun cannot be omitted. She is the teacher for whom I work so hard. Correct. She's the teacher for I work. Incorrect. It could be she is the teacher I worked for so hard. Okay. It is easy and everybody knows about it. Now let's go to the word file and see what we got here. So kind of your mind is ready now for the relative pronouns as object of preposition. Now look at the examples. For example, this sentence. The restaurant was excellent. We dined at it. The verb for having dinner, or for example, for eating at a restaurant. So dine at a place. I told you that the verb in this grammar comes with a preposition. Dine at a place. These two sentences are two short sentences. We want to combine them into an adjective clause. How? The restaurant, it says the restaurant which we dined at was excellent, or the restaurant that we dined at was excellent. So one level better than the short sentences. So here two short sentences. Here we have one adjective clause in the middle of our main clause, which is more beautiful. And here, because the verb comes with a preposition, we can bring the preposition before the relative pronoun which. The restaurant at which we dined was excellent. Okay, so this is our relative clause. At which we dined comes in the middle of the main clause. The restaurant was excellent. Where do we bring the adjective clause? I told you that it comes after the word it is modifying. We are modifying the word restaurant, so we will bring the adjective clause right after restaurant. The restaurant at which we dined. And you know that we cannot say at that. Why? Because the relative pronoun is preceded by a preposition. Only which for objects, only whom for people. I am repeating myself several times. Look at these two short sentences. The book is a bestseller. She is talking about it. Talk about comes with a preposition. So the adjective clause should go after the book. So we say the book which is talking about is a bestseller. And now if we want to bring about before it, as easy as the previous one, the book about which is talking is a bestseller. The book about which the adjective clause. Okay, this one. The person was very helpful. I spoke with her. Speak with. So the person whom I spoke with, or who I spoke with, or that I spoke with, was very helpful. And now bring with before whom, making it like the previous one. The person with whom I spoke was very helpful. With whom I spoke. Relative clause. Here, this one, the car was stylish. He arrived in it. Arrive in. So, arrive in, adjective clause for car. It should go after the word car. The car which he arrived in was very stylish. Or, bringing in before which, the car in which he arrived was very stylish. What I'm trying to demonstrate with this exercise is that simple sentences can be connected together to make more advanced English grammar for your writing and for your speaking, yielding better score on exams like IELTS or TOEFL for you. So the car in which he arrived was very stylish, far better than saying the car was stylish and he arrived in this car, for example. Very simple format. And this is the last example in this case. It says, the teacher has not yet responded. I sent the email to him. Send to. So the teacher whom I sent the email to has not yet responded. The teacher who I sent the email to, that I sent the email to, or to whom. The teacher to whom I sent the email has not yet responded. Got it? Very good. Now, some exercises here for connecting these sentences together. Combine the following sentences to form relative pronouns as object of preposition. How? The house has been sold. We used to live in it. Live in. So this is the adjective clause for house. It should go right after the house. What is your answer to this? Very good. The house in which we used to live has been sold. The house in which we used to live has been sold. Okay, this one. The musician is performing tonight. I talked with him. So it is about the musician. It comes here with him. The musician with whom I talked last week. The musician with whom I talked last week is performing tonight. Look at the answer. The musician with whom I talked last week is performing tonight. The rest of that is performing tonight. Yes. And this one, the movie won several awards. He starred in it. Star as a verb. Star in it. Movie. So adjective clause following the word movie. The movie in which he starred won several awards. The movie in which he starred won several awards. And some students by mistake pronounce it won. It is not won, it is won. If you look at Longman Dictionary, for example, it says win, and the past is won, and participle won. And here, one example for you, for example, he won, we won.
We won by just 1 point.
We won by just 1 point. You see?
We won by just 1 point.
We won by just 1 point, so it is won. And this example, the museum has become a major tourist attraction. The ancient artifacts were exhibited at it. So adjective clause for museum. And the preposition is at, so it is at which. The museum at which the ancient artifacts were exhibited has become a major tourist attraction. Okay, I'm trying to teach you step by step so you can produce this language for yourself. The museum at which the ancient artifacts were exhibited has become a major tourist attraction. And the last example in this series, the colleagues were all recognized for their exceptional contributions. She collaborated with them. Collaborate with someone. So, because it is people, with whom. With whom. And we will bring it after colleagues. So, the colleagues with whom she collaborated on the project were all recognized for their exceptional contributions. And the answer here, the colleagues with whom she collaborated on the project were all recognized for their exceptional contributions. So main clause is the colleagues were all recognized for their exceptional contributions, and the adjective clause is with whom she collaborated on the project. Got it? Great. And now exercise 14 on page 145, it says combine the sentences using adjective clauses in two ways. One of them is a relative pronoun preceded by a preposition, which is more important than the previous one. The other one says relative pronoun and the preposition separate from that. I think this is not difficult, so we mainly focus on the first one. The example says, Professor Ray is the woman. So much has been written about her. Write about preposition. Professor Ray is the woman about whom so much has been written, or Professor Ray is the woman whom so much has been written about. I prefer this one, far more beautiful. Number 1, Dr. Jones is the man. A short sentence. I have talked about him many times. A short sentence. So simply someone says Dr. Jones is the man and I have talked. So you see, easily we try to overuse and. Instead of that, Dr. Jones is the man about whom I have talked many times. Far better than saying Dr. Jones is the man and I have talked about him many times. So this one is far better than connecting these two clauses with a coordinating conjunction like and. This is the hospital. He has worked in this hospital for several years. You see, repeating the word hospital, it's not beautiful. This is the hospital in which he worked for several years. So the adjective clause going after the word is modifying. Work in, so in which. Number 3, he has performed many difficult operations because he was a surgeon. Perform operation, collocation. He has received much acclaim for them. Receive acclaim for something. Receive acclaim for something means to receive credit or praise for something. So it is for and it is something. So we say for which because we are modifying operations. He has performed many difficult operations for which he received much acclaim. For which he received much acclaim. It means for those operations. Number 4. Many people are grateful to him. He performed successful operations on them. On them. So them is the people. So we bring the adjective clause after people, not at the end of the sentence. So, and it is people, so it should be on whom. See how I am constructing this for you? Firstly, we analyze. What word are we modifying? We are modifying the word people because it says he performed successful operations on them. So the adjective clause follows the word people, and because it is people, it is whom. The preposition is on, so now everything is ready. Many people on whom he performed successful operations are grateful to him. And you see how you read it? Many people on whom he performed successful operations are grateful to him. Okay? Chunks of thought in order to better understand the sentence. And also your hearer will better understand what you're saying. Meaningful pauses. Number 5. The surgeon is still alive. Dr. Jones studied with this surgeon. So we are modifying the word surgeon. Exactly, this one goes right after surgeon, and it is a person, so whom, and the preposition is with, so with whom. As easy as that. The surgeon with whom Dr. Jones studied is still alive. With whom Dr. Jones studied is still alive. Number 6. Dr. Jones is a very modest man. The Nobel Prize in Medicine was awarded to him. Award to. So it is to the preposition, and we are modifying him, means Dr. Jones. So to whom, and it comes here. We say Dr. Jones, to whom the Nobel Prize in Medicine was awarded, is a very modest man. To whom the Nobel Prize in Medicine was awarded is a very modest man. Number 7. This award is greatly valued by people around the world. He worked hard for it. It, the award, so it is something for which. This award, for which he worked hard, is greatly valued by people around the world. For which he worked hard. Number 8. Alfred Bernard Nobel was a Swedish chemist and inventor. The Nobel Prize was named after him. Here the verb is interesting. Name after. Name after. So, for example, someone is born and they name him after their grandfather. They name him after their uncle or after their grandmother, whatever. This is called name after. The name comes from another person, another source. The Nobel Prize was named after this man, Alfred Bernard Nobel. So it is a person. We are modifying Alfred Bernard Nobel, and it is after, so after whom? Alfred Bernard Nobel, after whom the Nobel Prize was named, was a Swedish chemist and inventor. Number 9. Medicine is one of 6 fields. The Nobel Foundation presents awards in these fields. So 6 fields receive Nobel Prizes, and they are physics, chemistry, physiology, medicine, literature, and peace. Medicine is one of the 6 fields in which the Nobel Foundation presents awards. So present awards in something. So it is in which. Medicine is one of the 6 fields in which the Nobel Foundation presents awards. Present is a verb, so the stress is on the second syllable. If it is an adjective, it is present. It is a verb, so present. Number 10. Dr. Jones is undoubtedly a great man. I have much respect for him. Respect for him. So we are modifying Dr. Jones. It is for. It should be for whom. Dr. Jones, for whom I have much respect, is undoubtedly a great man. You see, this meaningful pause here after respect gives a lot of sense and meaning to our sentence. Dr. Jones, for whom I have much respect, is undoubtedly a great man. And number 11, he is the physician. My doctor studied under him when he was in medical school. Studied under him. So we are modifying physician. And the preposition is under, so it is under whom. He is the physician under whom my doctor studied for several years. He is the physician under whom my doctor studied for several years. Number 12, the final one, his hospital staff is planning a celebration. Dr. Jones will be the guest of honor at this celebration. So we are modifying the word celebration, and the preposition is at, so at which. His hospital staff is planning a celebration at which Dr. Jones will be the guest of honor. at which Dr. Jones will be the guest of honor. And guest of honor is the person for whom you plan a party, most of the time a birthday party. So the person for whom, you see, relative pronoun preceded by a preposition. The person for whom a celebration is given is called guest of honor. Okay, this was our unit talking about relative pronouns as object of preposition. Our upcoming lesson will be about unnecessary adjective clauses that refer to complete sentences, covering pages 147 to 149. And after that, only there is the reduction of adjective clauses. It will mark the end of the adjective clause chapter for us. After that, we will go to the noun clause. But now, as a review on the unit we covered, object of prepositions, beautiful. I told you here we had some examples like at which, about which, with whom, in which, to whom. All of these are prepositions preceding relative pronouns. We talked about how to construct that step by step. Here we had some examples. We also made them, and here the exercises. Okay, is there anything we need to talk about? Nothing. Okay. Thank you again, my friends, for watching this video. This was a very important unit for improving your writing and your speaking to an advanced level. It's best to follow these steps in order not to have those short sentences linked by and stretches of coordinating conjunctions. That is far simple. You potentially can produce much complex sentences. I hope these videos will help you with gaining better scores on your standardized tests like IELTS, TOEFL, CELPIP, or any other tests. I hope you have a great day. Take very good care, and bye